Part 2. Chapter 6. Did she stay out of trouble this summer? Destiny watched her dad's SUV rumble up the hill towards the cabins. "Crack of dawn," she muttered, shivering in the damp morning air. "I knew he'd be the first to arrive." "Hey, Livy!" She cupped her hands and shouted into Arapaho. "Wake up! Dad and Micah are here." "Give me a break. I'm packing," her sister shouted back. Destiny yawned and hugged herself, wrapping the sleeves of her camp sweatshirt around her shoulders. "Why am I so tired this morning? I see Dad didn't get the front fender fixed, and the car is covered with dust. He probably didn't wash it all summer." Destiny's mom had always taken care of the practical matters, allowing her husband to spend all his thoughts on his veterinary practice and his research. With Mom gone, the car will just disappear under a mountain of dirt, Destiny thought. "Hey, Liv, do you need any help?" No answer. Destiny turned and saw Chris Harvey, the lanky, blonde-haired art and crafts counselor, bent over, throwing up noisily against the side of his cabin. "Late night, Harvey?" someone shouted from one of the cabins. "How about a beer, Harvey?" Harvey was in no position to reply. Destiny watched him stumble into his cabin, wiping his face with his t-shirt. Car door slammed. She turned and saw Mikey come bursting from the car. Slipping in the dewy grass, she ran down to meet him. "Hey, you're tall," she said, wrapping him in a hug. She brushed her hands through his thick, coppery hair. "Dad got me a new game," he said, holding up his Game Boy. "See? It's like a NASCAR race. I haven't seen you all summer, and you just want to show me a game?" She hugged him again. "Yeah, stop doing that." He pulled back. "It's a really awesome game. I'll show you how to play on the way back." He glanced around. "Where's Livy?" "Packing." "Go help her." She gave him a shove toward their sister's cabin. He took off toward Arapaho. "Hey, Liv, we're here. Check out my new game." Destiny turned to see her dad come striding up the hill, arms outstretched, a smile on his face. His glasses glinted red in the early morning sunlight. The thick tuft of gray hair bobbing on top of his head was unbrushed as usual. His heavy gray eyebrows moved up and down like two fat caterpillars above the glasses. "I believe I know you from somewhere," he said. Destiny hugged him hard. She pressed her cheek against his. "Ouch, didn't shave." He rubbed his chin. "Guess I forgot." His beard has turned white, Destiny observed, and he looked so tired. She squinted at him. "Have you been putting in more long nights in your lab?" He nodded. "Pretty much." His smile was sad. "With everyone gone and the house empty, what else would I do?" Destiny swallowed hard. "Well, we'll all be home now. It won't be so quiet anymore." "That's what I'm afraid of," he said. Behind the glasses, his pale blue eyes flashed. They both laughed. Livy emerged from her cabin in shorts and sleeveless t-shirt, dragging a suitcase, a backpack, and 3 other canvas bags, clothes spilling over the tops. "I couldn't fit it all in," she said. She dropped everything and ran to hug her dad. "Hey, I miss you." He stepped back to study her. "You look positively healthy." Livy frowned. "Is that a compliment?" He continued to stare. "No tattoos?" "Of course not, Daddy. I promise, remember?" He turned to Destiny. "Did she stay out of trouble this summer?" "No way," Livy said before Destiny could reply. "Why would I want to stay out of trouble?" Dr. Weller chuckled. He raised his eyes to Livy's cabin. "We're missing one family member. Where's Mikey?" Livy rolled her eyes. "He found some new kind of worm he's never seen before under my bed. He was following it around the cabin, studying it. He's just like you, Dad, fascinated by animals and insects." Our cabins are a great place to study mutant insect life, Destiny said. He could be in there for hours. Mikey is definitely growing up, Livy said. He used to eat the worms. Now he just follows them. Let's start packing up the car, Dr. Weller said, massaging the back of his neck. He sighed. We've got a long drive home. Dad looks so much older, Livy said. She whispered, even thought they were upstairs in their room. It's just because his whiskers turn white, Destiny said. Livy shook her head. He looks really tired. He's kind of stooped over, and then she noticed how he keeps sighing all the time. His whole face is different. It's like sunken or something. Destiny peered down the stairs to make sure the door was closed. The twins shared a long, low room above the garage. It had been empty storage space when the Wellers moved in and the girls were little, but their father built walls, painted, set down carpet, and turned it into a big room with lots of privacy that they could share. Destiny loved the room because it was like having her own apartment. When her friends came over, they always hung out there. I think Dad's been working too hard, Destiny said, stuffing dirty camp clothes into a white laundry bag. He didn't take any vacation at all this summer. Livy, sprawled on her bed, watched Destiny unpack. He's been strange ever since Mom died, like a zombie or something. We all miss Mom, Destiny said softly. It's just weird being back in this house without her. I keep expecting her to come up here and help us unpack. Me too, Livy whispered. They both fell silent. Destiny checked the bottom of her suitcase. Empty. She had finished unpacking. Her sister's bags sat against the wall, untouched. And what is Mikey's problem? Livy asked. He played that dumb Game Boy game all the way home and barely spoke to us. Destiny shrugged. I'm worried about him. I asked him how he liked his day camp, and he said it was totally boring. He said he didn't make any new friends because he didn't want to, and he didn't learn to dive because there was too much chlorine in the pool. Oh wow, Livy said, shaking her head. Is it training time for Mikey? Destiny sighed. You know how close he was to Mom, and he's only 8 years old. The poor kid. She crossed the room and dropped down on the edge of her sister's bed. It isn't going to be easy, Liv. We're really going to have to help out a lot more here at home. Livy leaned back against the headboard of her bed, crossing her legs in front of her. Tell me something I don't know. I already quit the cheerleading squad, so I could be home with Mikey afternoons, didn't I? She sighed. This is our senior year. It's supposed to be totally awesome, you know? Fun, exciting. We'll have fun, Destiny said, reaching out and squeezing her sister's arm. Don't worry, we can still have fun. She turned when she heard heavy footsteps on the stairs. Hey, who's there? She called. It's me. A deep voice boomed in a heavy foreign accent. I've come to drink your blood. Chapter 7. She can't stop screaming. Destiny jumped up and ran to the stairwell. Peering down, she saw their friend Ari start halfway up the stairs. Ari, short and stocky, his serious face topped by curly black hair, wore baggy khaki cargo shorts and a t-shirt with a grinning mummy across the front. Hey, what's up? He called. Check this out. He held up a DVD. Destiny read the title, Curse of the Vampire's Daughter. Libby came over to greet Ari. She groaned when she saw the DVD. I'm so not in the mood for another one of your gross vampire movies. But it's part 3, Ari protested. His gum showed when he smiled. It's the best one. The special effects are awesome. Libby tossed back her hair. I'm, sick of awesome effects. What's so great about awesome effects? Ari looked hurt. Horror movies were his life. We haven't seen you all summer, Destiny said, and you just want to see it and stare at a movie. Yeah, Ari replied. Well, hey, how was camp? Did they show any movies? We didn't have time for movies, Livy told him. We were too busy having sex every night. Ari's cheek turned red. Destiny and Livy shared a smile. He believed us. And what did you do all summer? Livy asked him. You have a paper route or something? Ari's face was still red. I just hung out. You know, I helped my dad a little at the restaurant. It's been kind of scary here in town. Destiny's eyes went wide. Scary? Livy's cell phone rang. She ran to her desk and picked it up. Yeah, hi. Where are you? Our front yard? Well, yeah, come on. I haven't seen you in a month. She clicked off the phone. Who was that? Destiny asked. Everybody. I miss you so much. Natalie May wrapped her arms around Destiny. You kept trying yourself for weeks, but you never answered. The camera was deep in the woods, Destiny said. My phone was useless. I miss you too. What's different about you? She stepped back to study her friend. Natalie was tiny and thin, like a delicate bird. For such a little girl, she had a surprisingly deep, womanly voice. She also had a warm, winning smile and enough energy for 5 people. She gave Destiny a playful show. There's nothing different about me. You just forget what I look like. You know, out of sight, out of mind. I tried to email you, Destiny said, but my laptop. So how was camp? Meet any great guys? Not really. I made some good friends though. Too bad, Annalise said. She waved to Livy across the room. I struck out too. That physics workshop I went to at Mighty Geek City. Let's talk later, just you and me, Destiny said. I love what you did with your hair. Wish I could have such perfectly straight black hair. That's so funny, Annalise said. I always wanted to be a blonde. Destiny tugged her friend's hair. Maybe we should trade. They both laughed. Destiny turned to say hi to her other friends. They were all talking at once, their voices ringing off the low ceilings of the room above the garage. They sprawled on the cream-colored carpet, sat on the long, cushiony couch that divided the room between Destiny's territory and her sister's house, and perched on the edge of the beds. Destiny felt a wave of happiness sweep over her. The house had felt cold and gloomy last spring when her mother killed herself. So many tears, so many long silence. And after it had happened, their friends suddenly treated the twins differently. No one made jokes, everyone acted tense and awkward. The girls felt kids were watching them whenever they walked down the hall at school. We weren't us anymore. We were the girl whose mother committed suicide. 8 weeks of working at Camp Blue Moon had helped Destiny get away from all that, and now her friends' voices warmed her, made her feel safe and comfortable in her house again. Standing by the door, Destiny gazed around the room at everyone. On one end of the couch, Ari was talking with Courtney DeWitt, gesturing widely with his hands, as usual, telling her about a horror convention his cousin had taken him to. Courtney hadn't changed a bit over the summer, Destiny saw. She was still skinny, but round-faced, with her straight brown hair pulled back in a high ponytail, the kind everyone had in 4th grade. I hate this round face, she once complained to Destiny. Every time my dad calls me baby face, I just want to slag him. So she kept tugging at the hole in the knee of her jeans, and she listened to Ari. Destiny turned to Rose Starr, on the other end of the couch. Rose had shaved his blonde hair short over the summer, and everyone had to comment on it. What did you do this summer? Destiny called to him. Rose lowered the Mountain Dew can he'd been chugging from. He flashed Destiny his winning smile. I was a lifeguard. What a blast. Check out this tent. A lifeguard? For real? Where? Jersey Shore. My aunt has a house there. Did you rescue anyone? Ari asked. Rose's eyes flashed. Well, no, but I had to give mouth to mouth a few times. Everyone laughed. Destiny studied Rose. She'd been thinking about him all summer. You've been working out? He grinned and flexed his biceps. Check out this new bud. I think I want to live forever. Why? Ari asked. Think of all the girls I could have. Ross smiled. Livy slid next to Ross on the couch arm. You're bad, she said. She tugged playfully on the tiny silver hoop in his ear. Did you miss me this summer? Ross squinted at her. Which one are you? More laughter. Destiny groaned. Is Livy going to come on to Ross now? Does she have to have every guy? Livy and Ross were laughing about something. Livy had her arm loosely wrapped around his shoulder. I can't believe she's doing this in front of Courtney, Destiny thought. Livy knows that Courtney is crazy about Ross, and she knows I have a crush on him too. Fletch sat on the floor at the other end of the couch, his long legs crossed in front of him. He was talking into a cell phone. When Fletch turned off his phone, Destiny made her way over to him. You and Ross had summer basketball practice? He scratched his wavy, carrot-colored hair. Didn't you hear? Coach Bauer called up summer practice. He's still messed up about his wife. Right. Coach Bauer's wife died suddenly near the end of the school year. Marjorie Bauer wasn't that old, 48 or 49, like the coach. Bauer took a leave from school. Destiny remembered the rumors about him, that he went berserk or something. That night Bruce could hear him talking loudly to himself late at night, that he had lost all interest in coaching the team. So are you guys gonna be any good this year? Destiny asked. Fletch shrugged. Rose and I are the only seniors. We'll have to step it up. Any more Coke? Bree Daniel called from across the room, sitting on the floor across from Ari and Courtney. Bree waved her empty soda can in the air. Destiny really couldn't stand Bree. With her screechy mouse voice, and her piles of streaky blonde hair that fell over her face, and her pierced eyebrows that always made Destiny cringe. Bree had recently become Livy's best friend, or, as Destiny put it, Livy's bad influence. Bree was the one urging Livy to get a tattoo, and Livy had never smoked a cigarette until she started hanging out with Bree. There's a kind of bug that spits out juice that makes humans can dissolve. Ari was telling Courtney, I saw a show about it on the Discovery Channel. Ari, get a life, Fletch said. His cell phone rang. He raised it to his ear. I'll go downstairs and bring up some more drinks, Destiny said, making her way to the stairs. And I think we have some bags of nacho chips. She raised her eyes to Livy, who was practically in Ross' lap. Hey, Liv, where's Dad? Have you seen him? Livy shrugged in reply. She didn't take her eyes off Ross. Weird, Destiny thought. Dad usually likes to come up and hang out with my friends. She started down the stairs. Do you have any cookies or anything? Bree called after her. I'm really starving. Destiny pushed open the door and stepped into the kitchen. It took her eyes a moment to adjust to the single, dim ceiling light over the kitchen table. Oh, hi, she said when she realized her dad sitting at the table. Across from him sat Coach Bauer, his face solemn, hand clasped on the table. Destiny saw a deck of cards in front of her dad, but they appeared untouched. Hi, Coach, Destiny said. How are you? He nodded. Not bad. The orange light glared off his bald head. Destiny turned to her father. It's kind of dark in here, isn't it? It's okay, he answered softly. Eyes have been bothering me. Too much time in the lab, I guess. He removed his glass and rubbed his temples. Destiny pulled open the fridge. Don't you two want to come upstairs? You know, say hi. They looked at each other. Maybe later, Dr. Wheeler said. They picked up the deck of cards, but he made no attempt to deal them out. Destiny grabbed a couple of 6 bags of soda and balanced 2 bags of tortilla chips on top of them. She stopped at the doorway and turned back to the 2 men. Come on up if you want. I think we're going to watch one of Ari's disgusting movies. Her dad gave her a short wave. Have fun. When Destiny returned, her friends were in a heated discussion. Ari paced in front of the others, talking animatedly. There were 2 of them, he was saying. I'm not making this up. 2 what? Destiny asked, tossing a soda to Bree. 2 deer, Ari said, in Willerton Woods. Destiny turned and stared at him. What are you talking about? There are hundreds of deer in those woods. You've been away. You don't know what's going on here, Ari said. The 2 deer were dead. Their blood was drained. For real, totally drained. Livy rolled her eyes. And how many horror movies did you watch this summer? It's not a movie, Ari insisted. It's for real. I saw it on the news. Ari gets all his news on the Sky-Fi channel, Ross said. Ari didn't laugh. There were other animals too, raccoons and some squirrels. They were dead and their veins were empty, totally dry. Cute little squirrels and raccoons? You are so making me sick, Livy said, holding her stomach. Fletch shook his head. Courtney, you'd better hide your cats if Ari comes over. Courtney let out a gasp. Yuck, who would suck cat's blood? Feeling thirsty, Ari? Bree asked. I hear a dog barking next door. Jan. It's not a joke, Ari insisted. I know what it is. It's vampires. There are vampires out there who are doing this. Rose and Fletch exchanged skeptical glance. Bree choked on her soda. Remember in 3rd grade when Ari thought Mr. Hubner was a werewolf? Rose said, and it turned out he just didn't shave that day. Grinning, Fletch climbed to his feet and put his arm around Ari's shoulder. Didn't you write a paper for Mrs. Klein about real vampires in history, and she flung your ass? Mrs. Klein is very narrow-minded, Ari said, pushing Fletch away. Maybe if you would tear yourself away from your PlayStation and watch the news once in a while. I saw it on TV. Annalie interrupted. There was a scientific explanation for the whole thing. They said it was a virus, some kind of mutant virus that was killing the animals. How can you believe that crap? Ari demanded. Of course they're going to say it is a virus. They're not going to tell you the truth. I think a virus that dries up all your blood is a lot scarier than vampires, Destiny said. I mean, anyone can catch a virus, right? Courtney shivered. Can we stop talking about this? Destiny tossed a bag of chips at Ari. Are we going to watch your movie or what? Come on, we don't want to think about deer eating virus. Put it in the movie. Everyone moved to the couch or the floor to watch the TV. Ari slid the DVD into the player. Destiny dimmed the lights. Ari likes these vampire films because they're like his home videos. She heard someone whisper. I'm buying him a silly straw for his birthday. Livy whispered, so made loud slurping noises. Everybody shut up, Ari said, squeezing into the center of the couch between Courtney and Rose. These Vampire's Daughter movies are the best. He turned to Courtney, the most squeamish one there. If it gets too scary, just close your eyes. I'm shutting them right now, Courtney said. She shut her eyes and grabbed onto Ari's arm. The movie started with dripping, blood-red credits and booming organ music. The opening scene showed a black-capped female vampire creeping across a sleeping teenage boy's darkened bedroom. The boy woke up, just in time to scream, as the vampire sank her fangs into his throat. Hey, I think I know that guy, Rush shouted. I'd like to know her. Fletch chimed in. Is she hot or what? She's got a definite dental problem, Bree added. She probably went to your father, Livy joked. Bree's dad was a dentist. When they were in 4th or 5th grade, he did the braces for just about every one of Destiny's friends. Destiny usually enjoyed the kidding around during Ari's dreadful horror movies, but as the film started, she suddenly felt strange. A fluttery feeling that began in her stomach and rose up to tighten her throat. She took a long drink of soda, but it didn't seem to help. Sitting on the floor, she pressed her back against the front of the couch. She watched 3 vampires transform from bats into human form. They forced open the window of a girl's house and slipped inside. Destiny's chest tightened. A cold sweat made her hands clammy. She swallowed hard. Am I coming down with something? Why do I feel so strange? On the screen, a tall, thin vampire, who reminded her a little of Fletch, crept up behind a couch where a teenage girl was reading a magazine. He lowered his head, sank his fangs into the startled girl's neck, and Destiny began to scream. She opened her mouth in a hide, Shrill wail from somewhere deep inside her. She saw her friends turn to face her, saw their shocked expression. She heard Ari shout, "What's wrong? What's wrong with her?" She saw Annalie drop down beside her and throw her arms around her. "Dee, it's okay." But no, it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay because she couldn't stop screaming. Chapter 8. You Won't Get Away From Me. Cloak in darkness. Ren stood in the street, staring up at the Weller's house. A black mist encircled him, hiding him from sight as he moved across the front lawn to the house. A silver scooter lay on its side at the edge of the driveway. 2 cars were parked next to each other in front of the garage. "Destiny, you and your sister have visitors, I see." He could hear their voices, their laughter. He raised his eyes and saw light in the window of the room at the top of the garage. The mist rolled around him as he moved up the driveway to the back of the house. Now he could hear the heartbeats in that room, hear the pulsing of blood through veins. He gazed up at the window and listened for one heartbeat, one special heartbeat. "Laura, I'm here for you. Laura, I can feel your heart quicken for me. You know I'm out here. You know I have followed you. Yes, we must wait. We have weeks until the next full moon. That will seem like an eternity to me, darling, but at least I can be nearby while I wait. I will be watching you. I promise to stay near you all the time. I won't let you out of my sight. You won't get away from me, not this time. And as you begin to change, to gain your powers, you will be ready for me, ready to start your immortal life at my side. Can you hear my thoughts, Laura? Can you sense that I'm here? Can you feel my nearness?" He stood so still now, like a dark statue inside the circling dense fog. Listening, listening. And then he heard the shrill scream from the room above. Destiny's scream. A smile spread over his lips. Yes. Yes. Chapter 9. Such a powerful craving. How long did she scream? Destiny had no idea. When she finally stopped, it was like waking from a dream. Annalie held her tightly. Livy stood above Annalie, pale, her mouth open in shock and concern. Destiny blinked, then gazed at her friends. Her throat ached and her heart throbbed in her chest. "Are you okay? What was that about?" Livy asked, smoothing back Destiny's hair. Annalie stepped back. You frightened us." Destiny shook her head, clearing it. Sorry. Livy helped Destiny onto the couch. "Should I call Dad? Do you need a doc or something?" "No, I'm fine," Destiny said, swallowing, her mouth still dry. Livy let out a long sigh. "Jeez, Dee, you really freaked me out." Ari shook his head. "You never used to scare so easy. Next time I'll bring an Olsen Twins movie." "That's not funny," Livy said sharply. She held onto Destiny's hand. "What frightened you, Dee?" Destiny rubbed her head, still feeling dazed. Her friends' faces kept going in and out of focus. "I don't know. I can't explain it, Liv, but I feel okay now, really." Annalie handed her a Coke. Destiny took a long sip. The others were all on their feet, staring at her. "I guess we're not going to finish the movie," Ari said. "Anyone want to come to my place and watch it?" There were no takers. Bree glanced around uncomfortably. "Maybe we should go." A short while later, Destiny saw her friends heading to the stairs. "Whoa, wait." She struggled to her feet. "It's early. Come on. You don't have to leave." "Catch you tomorrow," Courtney said. "You should get some rest, Dee. You're just totally stressed, I guess." She and Bree, Fletch, and Ari disappeared down the stairs. "Call me later, okay?" Annalie said with concern as she followed the others to the stairs. Rose approached Destiny, rubbing his close-shaved head, his green eyes studying her. "Glad you're alright. That was kind of freaky." Destiny forced a smile. "I was just trying to rescue us from that awful movie." "You could be an actress in one of those vampire films. That was awesome screaming." "Glad you like it." "Why did I scream like that? Why?" Livy quickly stepped between them. "You heading out?" she asked Ross. "I'll go with you." He shrugged his broad shoulders. "Yeah, sure. I'll help clean up later," Livy said. Destiny stood in front of the couch, surveying the clutters of paper cups, empty soda cans, tortilla chip bags. She listened to Ross and Livy climb down the stairs. The back door slammed. "I told her this summer I had a major crush on Ross. How could she do this to me?" A burst of anger burned her chest. It slowly faded as she continued to think about Livy. She had worried about Livy all summer. No. Actually, she started worrying before the summer began. She wondered why her sister suddenly started hanging out with Brie. Brie was wild and kind of slutty and didn't care about school or much or of anything else except partying. Brie's parents had divorced last year, and it turned out neither of them wanted custody of her. She went back and forth from one parent to the other, but she was pretty much on her own. Why did Livy want to copy her? And why did Livy go after every guy in camp this summer? What was she trying to prove? Destiny spent so many nights lying on her cot in the small camp cabin after lights out, staring up at the shadowy ceiling, worrying about her twin. Mom didn't love us enough to stay with us. Is that why Livy is so desperate to find love everywhere else? Whoa, you're the one who freaked out tonight, Dee. You'd better not try to be Livy's shrink. With a sigh, she started to collect the trash. This is so typical. Livy runs out and leaves me here to clean up. She carried the litter down to the kitchen. "Dad? Hi." He hadn't moved from the kitchen table. Alone now, bathed in the dim, orange light from above, he had a veterinary journal spread out in front of him. He stood, pushing his glasses up on his nose. "Poor coach. I don't know how to cheer the man up," he said, moving to the sink and rinsing out a mug. "You both look pretty grim to me," Destiny said. She leaned her head against his shoulder. "You okay, Daddy?" "Define okay." She gave him a shove. "You define it," he shrugged. "I'm enjoying my work a little." "Yeah?" "Well, taking care of the puppies with your hair and cockatoos with seeds stuck in their beaks isn't too exciting, but my research work is giving me on my toes." He looked so much older up close, Destiny thought. I've only been away a couple of months. His skin didn't used to look so brown and powdery, and his eyes used to be bright and alive. All the color seems to have faded away. "What are you doing in the lab?" "It's hard to explain. It's a kind of stem cell research, only with animal tissue. You know, animals get a lot of illnesses that could be genetic. If I can alter the genetic makeup, maybe I can eradicate some of the illnesses." "Sounds like a lot of laugh, Dad. And what do you do for fun?" "Stand here and let you make fun of me." They both laughed. He hugged her. "I'm glad to have you girls back. It was awfully quiet around here all summer, and it was nice to have your friends in the house tonight. Great to hear all that laughing and screaming." Mainly screaming, Destiny thought. She said good night and hurried back upstairs to her room. Hours later, Destiny woke bathed in sweat, silvery cold moonlight washing over her from the open window. She sat up in bed, feeling shaky, her skin tingling. What time is it? She squinted at the clock radio on the nightstand beside her. 1:45. Mopping her forehead with her nightshirt sleeve, Destiny sat up, wide awake now. And thirsty. She kicked off the covers and stood up. "I'm wide awake, and I need to do something about these thirds." No, it was more than thirds. Her stomach rolled. Hungry. Starving. I feel empty. Completely empty. I have such a powerful craving. Craving? For what? In the rectangle of moonlight, She pulled on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. Then she crept barefoot to the stairway. Down the stairs, so lightly the floorboards didn't squeak once. To the kitchen door and out into the cool, clear night. Crickets chirped loudly, pounding in her ears, as if the volume had been cranked up. All of her senses alive and alert now. Heart pounding, Destiny followed her hunger, around the side of the house, past the garden hose left tangled on the ground, past a clump of tall weeds, past Mikey's silver scooter beside the driveway. Such a strange, powerful craving. Her mouth watering now, the back of her neck prickly and cold. She began to jog, bare feet slapping the dew-wet grass. She stopped when she saw the rabbit hunched at the side of the driveway. Its ears perked up. It stiffened, then froze in place. Destiny dropped to her hands and knees in the grass. She swallowed hard. She tried to force down her hunger, but her whole body ached with it. Slowly, she began crawling over the grass. I'm hunting like an animal. Why am I doing this? I love little bunnies. I want to learn to take care of little bunnies like that. I love them. Yes, I love them. I love them. She pounced. The rabbit let out a weak squeal as Destiny grabbed it around its middle. As she tightened her hands around it, she could feel its heart thudding, feel its warmth in her cold hands, feel its chest hopping up and down. I love bunnies. I love bunnies. I'm so hungry. She stretched the rabbit out, baring the pink skin of its belly. She raised the soft belly to her mouth, and someone else's hands grabbed at the head. Someone else's hands tugged the rabbit away from her. No, Destiny whispered. She pulled the wheezing rabbit back with a hard, desperate tug and raised her eyes. Livy, no! Give it back. Livy grabbed its ears and pulled. The rabbit let out a final squeal. Destiny had it by the middle. She lowered her head and sank her teeth into the soft, warm flesh. The rabbit jerked, then went limp, and both girls buried their faces in the warm body. And fed so hungrily on the warm blood. Satisfied the craving, the new craving, their frightening new hunger. Destiny heard a rustling in the trees. Was someone there? She didn't care. She had to drink. She couldn't stop. Finally, the rabbit corpse lay like a crumpled bag in their hands. Destiny heaved it into the hedge. She felt the thick, warm blood rolling down her cheeks, her chin. Still on all fours, she stared at her sister, panting hard, the sweet metallic taste on her tongue, on her lips. Like an animal, she thought, like a wild beast. A hoarse groan escaped from Destiny's lips, and then finally, she found her voice. Livy, she whispered. Livy, what has happened to us?